Attorney Sherry-Ann McGregor is agitating for more urgency, arguing that Jamaica needs to do this quickly to avoid some of the problems being experienced in other jurisdictions. Her recommendation follows a story in the Jamaica Gleaner, which showed scores of Jamaican women offering their services as surrogates, providing services on websites which also feature egg donors, surrogacy lawyers, and agencies to facilitate the process. The information suggests that the practice is booming, with the typical arrangement being a contract between the persons involved. However, this has sparked concern by Ms. McGregor, who argues there is no legislation to determine whether the contract between the parties involved will be legal or enforceable in a court in Jamaica. She asserts that there are existing pieces of legislation which impact this type of arrangement, and these need urgent attention, with one main example relating to the registration of births.
Society has changed since we had the Registration Birth and Deaths Act. And as you know, what we do now is bedside registration. So the person who gives birth to the child is automatically presumed to be the mother. And if, for example, that surrogate who carried the child is a married woman, and she's not married to she wouldn't be married to the father of the child, the intended father. Her husband's name is going to be entered on the birth certificate as the presumed father. So that's the current state of our law. So we obviously recognize that science has changed. So we need to ensure that we modify the legislation to meet the times.
She was speaking on RGR's radio program Beyond the Headlines, and Ms. McGregor has highlighted that Jamaica should pay attention to other jurisdictions where problems are emerging to ascertain what preemptive steps are needed. One of these is the question of whether public resources should be used in the practice of surrogacy.
We are seeing it all across the globe. And so it's important for us not to bury our heads in the sand and pretend that it's not going to affect us. And remember as well that we are dealing with a situation where the resources available to our citizens are going to be affected if we end up with commercial surrogacy. How many Jamaican women are going to be accepting this responsibility to carry children for people who are simply going to be paying them to do it? Many of them will end up in our public hospital. So we need to ensure that if we are going along that route, then we have contracts that can be enforced.
Cody Barrett, Frontline News.